Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
Across the streams of hopes and dreams where things are really not. Come along if you can. Come along if you dare.
Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
But please realize you'll probably be surprised.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review and thoughts on both House 1000 Corpses and The Devil's Rejects. Two of Rob Zombie's, kind of cult following, grindhouse horror films. I have both of them here, Blu-ray copies, which was a gift from my girlfriend for Christmas, actually. Two horror movies I've been meaning to check out for quite some time. Again, it's one of those obvious ones that they're both obvious ones I thought I would have seen years ago, but for some reason haven't. So just give me another look at the Blu-ray real quick. There you go. And then you got The Devil's Rejects. Alright, so I'm not going to make this video horribly long. It is almost 1:30 in the morning, but I've been meaning to do this video for a few days now. I watched both of these within the past week. Now when it comes to Rob Zombie, I like Rob Zombie's films. I think there's a lot of good things about his Halloween films, actually. They're not perfect, but there's definitely things I do appreciate about them. And 31, one of his more recent films, I liked, especially the lead in that. But, I think it kind of fell short of the potential I thought it had. So although Rob Zombie's movies aren't perfect, I still do enjoy his style and his kind of flair and touch to the way he does it here and there. So even if they're not the best, I do enjoy watching some of his work, here and there, just to mix it up. And these could be another one of them. I think both of these are also going to be ones I might like a little bit more given time, or maybe when I make my girlfriend watch them for some reason. Maybe I'll like it more after another viewing. But as of right now, I thought they're both alright. House of 1000 Corpses I thought was decent. It was okay. The Devil's Rejects I did think was a little bit better. Although it's not by much, they're both pretty close to me. House of 1000 Corpses, it's more of what you'd expect it to be, I guess, whereas, House of 1000 Corpses is more of like the expected horror movie setup. It does remind me a lot of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. People on a road trip, they get stranded, or they need help with their car or something, and then so they're taken in by these people. It definitely reminds me a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre set up with the family and everything. Except I would say that the people, there are a couple of recognizable cast members too. Like our regular characters. We have Rainn Wilson as Bill, who's known as Dwight Schrute on The Office these days. Which ended some time ago, but still he's known for. I loved him in Cooties not too long ago. You even have Chris Hardwick, the Talking Dead guy in this as well. So that was pretty funny. I'd forgotten they were in this. But yeah, they're stranded and they're being taken, by the family, including Sherry Moon Zombie as Baby. We have Bill Moseley as Otis, and of course Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding. But Captain Spaulding is sort of living apart from them. He's definitely the highlight of both of these movies. Sid Haig, he really helps make Captain Spaulding into pretty good and fairly memorable horror character for me. But I feel like we never got enough of him in either of these films. Almost in Devil's Rejects, but then with House of a Thousand Corpses, his moments were short but sweet. Sid Haig just played the hell out of the character. He seemed like a regular, almost kind of cool guy, but you could tell there was like a darkness and kind of deep-rooted anger underneath, and he could be a little bit creepy sometimes. But he put a lot of energy into the role in both of these movies. And I also actually liked Bill Moseley as Otis quite a bit in both of them. Especially in the first one, he's more so our kind of main antagonist because Spaulding isn't really in it too much. And I thought that worked alright. And Sherry Moon Zombie, I think this is probably my favorite role of hers I've seen. She's really eccentric. She reminds me of like a twisted, even darker version of Harley Quinn or something. I think she did pretty good in both of them again. She pops up in a lot of Rob Zombie's movies, of course. But yeah, so like I was saying, the first movie did remind me a lot of, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Except I would say the family is probably a little more theatrical. I think they probably enjoy their work arguably even more than the Hewitts or the Sawyers, I should say, do. And Captain Spaulding especially is a lot more theatrical, with what he does. So it makes it a little bit different, unique enough, I guess. But you can definitely see the inspiration from Texas Chainsaw there. And I like the cast, like I just went through. Rainn Wilson, this is one of his very first movies. I think he's also pretty likable in this in the brief time he has. Chris Hardwick is okay too. And of course there's going to be spoilers here and there. I'm not going to go in depth about everything, but Rainn Wilson, of course, Bill, he ends up being killed. We don't really see it happen. We see him attacked as they end up trying to escape, of course. And he's made into like this, fish statue art kind of thing. I guess they're gonna have a longer scene of it actually happening to him and him being, kind of ripped apart and everything, but they didn't, because it took Rob Zombie a few years to actually get this one released. I think they actually filmed this in like 2000 or something like that. And it didn't get released until 2003. Rob Zombie's always had a lot of difficulty getting his movies out. Even 31 recently went through a lot of studio butchering before he could get that R rating. I will say some of the movie did feel a little dull. But I would say it entertained me definitely more than some of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films, at least. Some of them, maybe to an extent. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back on them again, even though I think I still definitely prefer any of the Texas Chainsaw ones, except maybe like the Next Generation and 2 and stuff like that. Of all the remake stuff, I probably still prefer Texas Chainsaw, but this one I think it separates itself enough for the most part. There's definitely some disturbing moments and images in both of them, really, but more so in this one. I do like the gloomy sort of dark factor to it, and it feels like that these people are really trapped, and it's kind of, and one of my favorite scenes is where they try to escape and it's dark and it's storming, raining, and it's probably one of the best scenes in the movie. Then you also have, let's see, just give me a second, guys. Yep, Tiny. There's also Tawny, this really messed up, taller creature that wanders around, and that was fine as well. I even have Walton Goggins is also in this. I forgot to mention, who's known for his role on Justified, so it's fun to see him pop up in this as well. Let's see. Yep, okay. So those are mostly my thoughts on House of 1,000 Corpses. And if I had to rate it, I was thinking about a C, C+. Like I said, Captain Spaulding is definitely the best part of it, but there wasn't enough of them in this. And I thought the guy playing, let me see his name. Let's see. I don't know, the other family member there on the far left, I thought he was a little kind of not really memorable, I guess. But I still did like it. If I had to pick one of the ratings, I'd probably give it more of just a C. It was alright. I thought it was fine, but I'm not really too high on it. But again, maybe I'll like it more if I watched it again. It definitely didn't disappoint me like, say, Hellraiser did. I do think it's better than Hellraiser, so I'll give it that. Now into Devil's Rejects, like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail. But I did think this one was a little bit better than House with Thousand Corpses, or at least I enjoyed it more, at least upon my initial viewings. Although thinking about it now, there aren't quite as many memorable little moments in this one. Perhaps I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong about that. There's not as many like standout, like horror-esque or disturbing moments in this one. I feel like. And I think that's in part because Devil's Rejects, it kind of felt a little bit more streamlined or a little bit more like a typical movie. I don't know. Definitely changed a little bit with its style. I mean, it's still kind of like that grindhouse horror kind of thing, like I said, but yeah, I feel like it's a little bit lighter in a certain way, although there's definitely a disturbing scene in here involving Otis and a man's wife that they're holding hostage. Which I was surprised they went as far with as they did, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised with Rob Zombie. The upside, though, is, like I said, there is more Sid Haig in this one, and I got pretty into it, honestly. I mean, there's like 30 minutes left, and I was wanting like another hour, not because it felt rushed, but because I knew it was the last one, and I was wanting to see more of them. So I thought that was good. Sherry Moon Zombie continued to shine in this as well. I think she is one of the highlights. I also think Mother Firefly, of course, the mother. She ended up standing out more as well. And let's see. It also had appearances from Danny Trejo as Rondo and professional wrestler Diamond Dallas Page. They're a couple of basically criminal mercenaries sent after the group. And you had William Forsythe as Sheriff John Quincy Wydell, who is the brother to the sheriff or the deputy or whatever that was killed by the mother in the first one, shot through the head. And William Forsythe was at a horror convention I was at back in August 2017, and now I kind of wish I would have paid to meet him, because he was pretty good in this. He brought a lot of intensity to it, and it was different having a actual threat towards Spaulding, Otis, and the others. It made it a lot different from the first one. Like I said, it's a little bit different in terms of perspective, because a lot of it is from their angle instead of just the victims that are trapped in a house or something. Although there are hostages, feels a lot less concentrated on that. And like I said, Sid Haig, it was great to see more of him. He's entertaining as hell as Spaulding, and despite how the movie ended, I still feel like we haven't seen his full potential, because it was weird. Once they meet up with him, it drops like the whole gimmick at like the fried chicken and gasoline thing, and he's just kind of a normal, angry, bitter guy, but which I was fine with too. But it's kind of odd how he never explained why Spaulding wasn't living with him. Because in House of a Thousand Corpses, they talk about him like they're pretty distant from him, or he calls him like an old fat idiot, basically. But now it seems like they're so close in this one. It's not, and they don't have a care in the world when they meet up with each other, and it's great. So that part was a little bit odd to me. But I wish that they would have explained that. But I guess in ways, certain people in this movie seen as like a soft reboot in a way. I don't know if that's the way to describe it. But yeah, Bill Moseley is still really good as Otis. I think again he's kind of still our central antagonist. Spaulding's not quite as disturbing as he is in this movie, but he's still damn entertaining. And yeah, they do some messed up shit in this one. I'm not saying they're redeemable, they're not at all. But towards the end, they almost try to show things from their perspective, and it almost makes you get to like them in a weird way, with how William Forsythe's sheriff snaps, and just how hell-bent he is on getting him, and actually end up, trying to kill him. which is pretty intense. So you can't really say, oh, you feel bad for them, but look what they did to all these people. They raped some people before and after, they murdered them brutally and did all this other fucked up shit with them. So why should we feel bad that they're just being finally taken down themselves? I don't know, there's an argument for that, but from a fan's perspective, it's they got to be more likable in this one. I did find myself caring at least a little bit when Spaulding and Otis were nailed to the chairs and Baby was being beaten down by the sheriff. Of course, Tiny comes along and snaps the sheriff's neck, but I do think William Forsythe did give a pretty good performance in this one. And he made for a pretty good antagonist too, especially when he had stabbed the mother as well. And the ending to it, I liked quite a bit, where they end up on the long road and that we see the the blockade, or all the squad cars there, holding them off, and they know their time is done, so they end up going off on this grand send-off. Spaulding's hanging off the side of the shotgun, they all end up firing, and they're gonna just get shot up, and they do. And that's where it ends there. Again, the music is also pretty good in both of these movies too. It kind of contributed to the energy and vibe of the films. I hear rumblings that they're supposedly making a third one. Not sure how they're going to continue. I think a good idea would be to fit a movie in that takes place between the two or even before. I don't know. But if they wanted to make a direct sequel, they'd have to go the supernatural route and have them. I've heard like a pitch saying they're the Devil's Rejects, so they're literally rejected by hell, and now they're kind of just brought back, because they'd rather have Earth deal with their shit. Which would be okay, I guess. I just want to see more of Spaulding. I think he can almost carry his own movie in a way too. But then again, it's great to see the family together because Baby's his little girl. And when they do have him, when William Forsythe does have him, like I said, nailed to the chairs, and he knows he's gonna go after Baby next, Spaulding does sort of try to get his attention because he doesn't want to see his little girl hurt. So in a weird way, that was kind of touching too. And that final montage, as it showed the flashes of them, being with each other, it did seem, I don't know if I should say touching, but it was, fairly well done for what it was, although, again, how much sympathy can we have for them, I'm not sure. But from a horror fan's perspective, it was definitely still entertaining and added to seeing them like that. So, if I had to rate The Devil's Rejects, like I said, I do like it a little bit more than House of 1000 Corpses, and I'm giving it about a B-. Not by much, but I do think it's a little more enjoyable. And like I said, it's probably because it's a little bit more streamlined or a little more conventional, perhaps. But I still liked it, and I think I'll like both of them more if I watch them again. I think they're definitely worth your time, even if it's just for the 3 central performances or the usual disturbing image kind of thing. Or if you're a fan of Rob Zombie's work, I'm sure you've already seen it. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.